Back to the Stroke and Diabetes Center, and you were with Dr. DR Antoine, right? But in Trinidad, my name is DR Antoine, so it's Ask Dr. Antoine today. So we are pleased to have with us Dr. Marshley George from Trinidad and Tobago, just finished publishing her book, Detecting and Living with Breast Cancer for Dummies, published by Wiley Publishing. And we do have a question.
Good morning, Dr. Antoine. Good morning, Dr. George.
Good morning.
I would like to know, and also for the public to know, when one is diagnosed with cancer or diabetes, should they stop their lifestyle of physical activity like hiking, swimming, dancing, etc.? Because being diagnosed, some people tend to think it's the end of the world. So should it always be incorporated in their life?
It always should be incorporated, because you got to understand that the body, when your body is stressed, that's when diseases flourish, right? When you exercise and you have good blood circulation and you control your weight and your diet and you eat healthy, you actually creating an alkaline environment in your body, and you're not giving a lot of inflammation. Inflammation is not being produced as it would normally be produced in stressful situations. So that's a good way to continue with the lifestyle changes. But one of the things that we need to understand, that sometimes with cancer patients and their treatments, they may have limitations. You know, like if I remove the lymph nodes under my armpit, I may have pain and swelling, and I may not be able to do aggressive swimming or play tennis with that arm. So, but in good reason, you should know what you are able to do based on your restriction. But a healthy lifestyle, you can't go wrong with that.
Well, I'll tell you, being healthy, we could say it's a choice. But herein lies the issue with, we like to say in the Caribbean and throughout in the healthcare industry, non-communicable diseases. But my patients in Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean, they don't know what non-communicable diseases are. You know what they know? My pressure, Dr. George, my sugar.
You know, as you say, sugar. I really look at the statistics for diabetes. And it's almost 2,000 people in Trinidad and Tobago are projected to die annually from diabetes complications.
The fourth highest on planet Earth. The mortality rate per 100,000 in Trinidad and Tobago, we are the fourth highest on planet Earth. And it's been going up every year. So whatever we've been doing, Dr. George, isn't working. Whatever organization, let me tell you this. I take this personally. Whatever we're doing isn't working. And whoever's in charge of that isn't working. Where I come from, you get audited. We look at the outcomes. And if your outcome is steadily getting worse, what must you do? Here's what we say in the military: redirect fire.
Well, one of the things I'll tell you, the basic thing is our lifestyle. Let me tell you. Every time we want to bust a line, what do we have when we bust a line?
A little rum?
We have a little rum.
A little beer.
We bust a cook, whether it's an oil dung, a pilau, or barbecue, or whatever.
Why are you knocking my food? Dr.
No,
Jordan?
well, I love it too. But what we need to understand.
My roti and my doubles.
But let's take the alcohol. You know Trinidad and Tobagonians real drink.
But listen, not only drinking too, Dr. Joe, I pass by this double stand where I come to work. You should see the line. And there's a fruit truck right next to it. You should see that line.
But you know what I see? Because when you look at alcohol, what is the fundamental ingredient in alcohol? It's pure sugar. It has to ferment. It's sugar. Now, when we look at, there are some individuals who would eat a doubles every morning for breakfast. There's some individuals who would eat a roti every day for breakfast. Now, I love my ethnic food. It's just about understanding that you do things in moderation. That's not the only food group, roti and doubles. You need to eat some fruits, you need to eat some vegetables, you need to exercise.
But what else would we eat? Dr. George, we in Trinidad. It's Trinidad.
But let me tell you something. I
wake up, I have bread and butter, and I have a doubles.
But we have
there's people on the side of the road selling bread all over the country.
But there's people on the side of the road selling wonderful vegetables and fruits.
You know-
You see it all over on the highway. I drive down around West Road, El Socorro. You've seen it all over.
But here's the thing. I have to get, on Ask Dr. Antoine, we're going to get whoever's in charge of the flour mill in Trinidad. Because I have a theory there's something going on with the flour. It's not just too much flour, but there's something going on with it. Not that I'm beating up on flour, just like people want to have sugar tax and increase the charge of it, you know, put a price. What was that guy, the mayor in New York at the time? He's like, no big slurpy, big gulps, right?
Yes.
Does that really help? Because I know what the doctors say. It's easy for us to say it's a lifestyle disease.
But I
And
think,
blame it on the patient. Oh, it's your fault.
but I think it has different angles you have to come. Yes, we know the leadership, you know, we need to do more with preventing diabetes on that end. But we also need to start to educate from the bottom up. We need to have healthcare programs in schools, elementary schools. We need to teach little kids about healthy nutrition so they too can influence their parents to be healthy. So we have to have a bottom-up approach and a top-down approach so that we can have an even playing field on what we want to accomplish with that.
I know the lifestyle thing from being in the military after 31 years of being in the military. But here's an issue. Lifestyle is a choice, right? Lifestyle is a choice. However, I have patients who've had diabetes for 20 years. And they come in my office, and guess what they're saying? They don't know what an A1C is, right? They haven't even heard of an A1C. And I know in the States where I was trained, it's all about outcomes. If a physician has a panel of about 100 women, and 5 of them end up with breast cancer, cervical cancer, and that physician did not recommend in the chart that patient needed a breast exam or didn't screen, or guess who's in trouble? Who's in trouble?
The provider.
The
yes.
provider's in trouble. Why isn't that our standard here, where all these 20 years of having diabetes don't, and not Marcelly, Dr. George, I'm not one patient, not 2, not 5 or 6, 19, my nurse and I, we went up to do and I'll have to check this thing out. We saw hundreds of patients, and this is not a scientific study. We saw hundreds of patients with Grandy with Hands International. And out of those 100, only one person knew what an A1C is.
So you see, the lack of
And that
education.
person was a nurse, by the way.
And that's the thing. The key thing, we need to educate. And we need to go in the community and educate. And who does it well? Nurses. Who would do it well at health centers? Nurse practitioners.
Yeah, we have a diabetes nurse educator here.
That's very important.
At the Stroke and Diabetes Center out here in Piarco
Yeah,
Plaza.
we have to go in the community.
But here again is the issue. I am responsible for my patient's health. I am in charge of my patient's health. Yes, the patient has a responsibility also, but at the end of the day, we as physicians, nurses, medical providers, we are responsible for the health of our nation, and we're here to add value at the Piarco Plaza Stroke and Diabetes Center in Trinidad and Tobago. Our phone number is 868-235-5066, and we are on our website, www.strokediabetes.com, and we are honored and truly blessed to have Dr. Marcelly George from Trinidad and Tobago just finished publishing Detecting and Living with Breast Cancer for Dummies, and by Wiley Publishing. So we're going to be here again next week. We'd like to have this program every week, but it's your choice. Follow us on Facebook on the Stroke and Diabetes Center, or also on our Facebook page, Caribbean Medical Providers Practicing Abroad. Dr. George, thank you. Any closing words, parting words?
Everyone should be educated about their health, and they should want to do more. They should demand more. Hold your medical professionals accountable. Ask questions. Challenge things. It's not okay to just say, my doctor say to come see you in 6 months, but take a stand for your health. And medical professionals, have empathy. This is your country, who you love, and we need to stop the dying from diseases such as diabetes, cancers, and hypertension.
Thank you, Dr. George. And if you have a medical question, ask Dr. Antoine.
Yeah.